Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. It's time to go through some more news about Stalingrad in Enlisted and also some sales that they're doing for Victory in Europe Day. So first of all, we'll do that because it's pretty simple. In-game discounts on enlisted gold squads in the Battle of Berlin campaign are now 50% off at the moment. So if you want to pick any up, make sure to do it. At the same time, premium accounts for Enlisted are 50% discounted for 365 days and also 50% discounted on 90 days. Remember, if you want to purchase anything on the store, including gold, you can use the partner link in the description and it'll give you discounts and also support the channel. So make sure to do that since there aren't actually many of them for Enlisted that are around the place. So when it comes to the Victory in Europe Day, they're just doing some standard discounts, which is nice. But the main meat and I suppose to veg of the video is about Stalingrad once again. So yesterday they confirmed that certain weapons that are in the Stalingrad campaign are going to be available exclusively to Stalingrad owners when everything merges. And also, at the same time, you will keep the slots. Now, this was a piece of contention, basically in the community, because of the fact that you paid for the access pack and you also got extra slots for that access pack. So the question was, when they changed the progression system, do you keep these slots? And the answer is yes, and always was going to be yes, by the way. But unfortunately, when it comes to certain people who are in positions of power, either if you want to give them a benefit of the doubt, they misconstrued what was actually going to happen, or if you don't want to give them the benefit of the doubt, they talked out of their ass, as they always do, and for some reason people listen to them because they're in positions of power. And unfortunately in Enlisted this has happened multiple times, whether it's community managers or helpers who also aren't Guardian employees, by the way, have straight up talked out of their ass about something they either didn't know about or they've misunderstood or there's been a translation error and everybody's got confused and annoyed about it. This has been something which has been going on since the start of Enlisted, and it is always the same people who are doing it over and over and over again, and unfortunately nothing is being done about it. It's very sad. It's going to continue to happen because the people who are actually in power when it comes to the moderation stuff have unfortunate issues with the idea of management and don't know how to manage people, and it's going to continuously get worse when it comes to Enlisted. Whether it's the Discord stuff that happened last year, whether it's the helper stuff, which is ongoing, where you give people who shouldn't have positions of power, and then they start to abuse it, or when it comes to articles just being completely wrongly translated, or because you have certain people who are there to be community liaisons who don't speak, the actual languages and therefore get stuff completely the wrong way around. It's all over the place, it's completely ridiculous, and it's just going to keep getting worse. In this case, one of the helpers called James Grove said about slots, Stalingrad Access Pack had bonus for 6 slots, so they're not going to transfer after merge. But if you bought slots with gold, they will. Well, okay, this was yesterday, by the way, and now, today, it says you'll keep the slots. So this means 3 squad slots for both the USSR and Germany for all Stalingrad full access pack owners. So there you go, there's a person who is a helper for Enlisted, and also a moderator on the Reddit, so therefore you have a conflict of interest there, by the way, but let's not get into that, because that just seems to be okay at the moment. Straight up lying to people, because either they've misconstrued things, if you want to be charitable, or they don't know and they're just making stuff up, which is most likely happening when it comes to these things. So just understand, take everything that these people say with a grain of salt, because even though they're given positions of power, they talk out of their ass all the time. This comes from somebody who has been involved when it comes to Gaijin and War Thunder, like social stuff for many years, and seen a lot of helpers who, remember, are not employees. They are volunteers at the best of things, so they do not speak on behalf of either Darkflow or Gaijin. They speak mostly just for themselves. What ends up happening is they end up saying some very silly stuff. It happens all the time when it comes to War Thunder, and it has happened all the time when it comes to Enlisted over this last 2-year period and even before. They even have a little bit of an FAQ system, or section I should say, for the Stalingrad Devblog as well. It says, what about other campaigns? What happens to the squad slots I purchased for them? The answer is, from the start, we plan to transfer them all. If you bought multiple slots for different campaigns, it's possible that you could have more slots than one country could use in the new system. In these cases, we return the gold for those slots to your account. So, as it says, right there, from the start, they were going to transfer them all. And the ones which were which they couldn't transfer because there was too many of them. So let's say there's only like 6 slots available in the new system, and you purchase 10 across all campaigns for Germany or whatever, they will refund you 4 of them. This was going to happen from the start, by the way. It's something that I mentioned months ago, and for some reason, nobody took any notice. And then you have people who are actually in the mechanisms of not development, but moderation of this game, lying to you about how this is all going to work. It's astonishing to me how this is all set up. And there are so many instances of this being the problem. Clear communication from people who are supposed to know what they are, instead of what they actually do when it comes to Enlisted, where they make stuff up because they think that's the way it's going to go, and then they push those narratives, even though it's wrong. And then people forget about them in about a week. And then we just do the same thing over and over again. This has happened like 4 or 5 times. The big time this actually happened was when Stalingrad actually came out. What happened was there was some community managers who are supposed to know, and once again, know what they're talking about, just getting stuff wrong constantly about what was happening when it came to Stalingrad and how it was going to be set up. It was just nuts. The other question is, what happens to weapons, vehicles, and squads that weren't part of Stalingrad Full Access, so the standard ones, I'm guessing? The answer is they will carry over if you manage to unlock and purchase them. Many of Stalingrad's weapons and vehicles are also available in Moscow, and it doesn't matter which campaign you unlock them in. This rule is true for all campaigns. If the same weapon is available in one of them and has been unlocked, it will also be unlocked in the appropriate country in the new Enlisted. So you don't have to grind out multiple campaigns at the moment, you just have to focus on one. So as I said before, and have been saying for a week, it's probably a good time right now to even buy Stalingrad access to get access to the stuff that they are removing, and also at the same time to grind out those nations, because then they'll be available for everything across the board, which is quite nice. And you'll now also be guaranteed the bonus slots, even though the people who are supposed to give you the correct information were lying to you for weeks. Welcome to the bloody gong show when it comes to this stuff. You can't trust anybody when it comes to that apparatus until the official information has come out. And even then, they make up stuff or just straight up lie or misconstrue the information. It's incredibly annoying, and it's been happening for a long time. And the key figures who are actually in positions of power when it comes to Enlisted, whether it's the community managers or whether it's the people who are relaying the information, need to sort themselves out. This is not good enough. It's some of the worst that I've seen when it comes to the whole gaming world, basically, where everything seems to be misconstrued. It's mainly down to language barriers, and also people just saying stuff that they have no official confirmation for. Please, for the love of God, get your act together. It's incredibly childish, and it's incredibly just a disservice to the actual game itself, right? It just is. And then also, you have people who have been here for 10 plus years, because I've known them for 10 plus years, and they've been in these positions in War Thunder and have been transferred over to Enlisted, and they're still making the same mistakes after 10 years. Just get rid of them and get people who are useful. It can't be that hard to find actual useful community managers. We have some in War Thunder. They're actually pretty good. Other ones, they're just crap. Jesus. Anyway, peace be with you. Look after yourself as always, and have a good day. I'd just like to thank Millie Draper, Juan the Panda, Nick R. Cupila, Carrion Crow, Gus Irenicus, Pyman, Merciless Reaper, Orange Tail, Teddy, Daniel Stanton, Moxie B. Young, Peter Grayling, Jerry Provolt, Bareen, Alan Hacker, Sem Arslan, Uncle Bean, Derek R., and Lafouche for supporting the channel.